Hello, Year 2. So today is Monday, the 25th of January 2021, and here's our maths lesson. And the learning question is, can I represent data? Now, you'll find out what that means in a minute, but at the moment, I want you to stop, pause the video, and write the date and the learning question beautifully neatly in your purple book. Okay, so how can we represent data? Well, data is information, and represent means to show it. So how do we know how to show information? What three ways do you know already? Well, here they are. And I'm going to, when I point to them, I want you to shout out what it is. Okay, are you ready? Ready to shout? What's this? That's right, it's a block diagram. Ready for the next one? Ready to shout out? This is a tally chart. Well done. Remember, tallies are grouped in 5. And finally, this is a pictogram. Well done. So today you've got to choose. Do you want to represent data in a block diagram, a pictogram, or a tally chart? Okay, here is your data today. So I went round to ask teachers, what is your favourite snack? Your favourite treat? And I gave them a choice of ice cream. I gave them a choice of, what's that? That's right, chocolate. Their third choice was, well done, crisps. And what was their final choice? Yes, it was sweets. And each picture represents what the teacher said, and our title is Teacher's Favourite Treat. And what I want you to do today is choose a way of representing all this data. Now, just a little clue, I'm not going to give you much help today, but do you remember we ticked off when we counted something? Yeah, and I want to see that happening today. So how are you going to represent that data? You're going to have to count it and represent it. Are you going to represent it in a tally chart? If so, you'll need to draw one. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of help. Now, it's difficult for me with my pen on here and my mouse, but the first thing we do is we draw a rectangle, and that makes the outline of our chart. Now, it's easier. Oh, a bit wobbly, Mr. Clifford. You do it slower than me. I'm going to join it up. Use the lines of your project book to help. There's the outline of our chart. If you've got a ruler, great. If you haven't, don't worry. We need 3 columns in our tally chart. One column will say the name of the treat. One column will show the tally. One column will show the total. So I'm going to draw one line here. And there is my column for the treats. I'm going to draw another line here. And this middle column is wider because that's where I'm going to record my tally. And then I've got my third column here, which will be total. So I'm going to draw the row in to put the labels in. So there's my tally chart, and you'll write treats here, tally here, and then total here. And then we need 4 rows, and I'm going to count 2 lines. There's one row. There's my second row. A third line. Okay, and there's my 4th row. So now I've got space to write my 4 treats, tally them, and total them. Okay, now the good news is for a pictogram, it's exactly the same. So if I just select all that, I'm not going to draw it again. Your pictogram will look the same, but will have different things written on it. Okay, so here you will still have your treat, but here you won't have your tally, you will draw your pictures. What pictures are you going to draw? Remember, they've got to be the same size, okay? So that's pictograms and tally charts. What about a block diagram? Now, a block diagram is a little bit tricky because we need a vertical line drawn beautifully by Mr. Clifford. I'm going to stop there, and a horizontal line to make like a big capital L. Now here we need to write our scale, which are the numbers. Okay, so you'll write numbers here. Now you've got to have enough lines to show the most popular treat. So make sure you've got enough lines of your book. Along the horizontal line, you're going to write the labels of the treats. And then you will draw your bar using the lines to help you. Okay? Right, enough help, Mr. Clifford. It's your turn to do it on your own, okay? So for the data here, choose one way to represent it. Either a tally chart, a pictogram, or a block diagram. If you want to do all three, that's amazing. Who's ready for an extra challenge? So for an extra challenge, you can wrong button. You can interpret your picture, okay? So you can write some sentences. Teachers chose. Now you could write a sentence for each row or bar of your picture. Now this is tricky. Could you write one of these sentences about today's data? More teachers chose than Not going to give you any help, but remember we've answered lots of questions like this, so hopefully you will be able to do this question. And don't forget to write a title above your tally chart, your pictogram, or your block diagram. We can't wait to see clear pictures of your maths work today. And remember, as always, send them to Teachers Year 2 at birchfields.manchester.sch.uk. You're doing a brilliant job and aim high with your work today. Take care, everyone.